Hello, my name is David Shepard and I'm an astrologer, star watcher. These first few videos that I'm going to be sharing with you are going to focus on the astrology reading experience. I'm going to try to give you a deeper understanding and feeling for what astrology really offers you. For me, a lot of times people regard astrology as a science. It is that. They also sometimes regard it as an art form. It is that. There's a lot of creativity, a lot of imagination that goes into really interpreting the heavens and interpreting the chart itself. There's also a beauty to the symbols and the way in which the symbols connect to each other that's really fascinating. But how I like to view astrology is first and foremost really as a tool of mindfulness. And it is this beautiful sensitivity, a beautiful awareness of yourself, of the world around you, of the various cycles that are happening all the time, and the opportunities that present oneself in terms of change, in terms of transformation, how we can become more mindful of these things. I had a great example of this given to me by my astrologer teacher, William Royers, and he had this beautiful photograph that was done by Edward Curtis, who is a 19th century photographer who spent a long time photographing the various rituals and lifestyles of the American Indians, particularly in the Southwest and also in the Northeast. This one particular photograph that he had hanging by his door was of these probably 15, 20 Indians, and they were racing around this campsite. The fire was blazing and the dust was being kicked up, and it was just this fury of energy. The title of the photograph was Dancing to Restore the Eclipsed Sun. And that was something that William asked me about. What was my reaction to this? Well, I said, it sounds like a good title. But he brought up a very good point, and that is that title came from a Western mindset. This is not something that probably the Indians would say was actually going on for themselves as they were going through this dance ritual. So oftentimes in the West, coming from a very scientific kind of culture, we like to think in terms of what we are doing to the environment, what we're doing to ourselves. We always have a kind of goal orientation that is seeking ways to either become victorious over something or to fight with something, to struggle with something, but to essentially impose some kind of will on the world. And what he said was that the Indians themselves, and probably in terms of this is important for all astrologers to be aware of, is that we're really not imposing our will, but what we're seeking to participate in the world very fully, very deeply, to become more mindful. And that in itself is an enormous achievement. That in itself puts one in touch with all these possibilities of change and transformation. The world around us is constantly going through all these changes and transformations, and for us to allow ourselves to become at one with it is really the goal of constructive, mindful living. And that's really what an astrologer strives for in the reading experience, is to help engender in the client and in the aura of the circumstances that is going on at the time when the person comes for reading, is how to participate in this experience much more deeply. It is a wonderful awakening when a person begins to relax and feel as though that there is a kind of mirror being shined back to them in which they can see themselves. Usually what happens is I'm telling people things that they already sense and feel within themselves. They already have this kind of inner knowing. And I'm helping them to really open up and appreciate the knowing that's already there and appreciate the opportunity that's there. I'll be talking more about what some of the other experiences are of a reading. Thank you.